Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday, it is September 27th, 2011, and this is Day 9 Daily number 351. Oh! I'm kind of in a glasses mood today, and I'm kind of in a good hair mood today. Oh! But here's a struggle I wanted to just share with you. Now, here's an interesting idea. Here's something really interesting. Let's say, for instance, that I am out in public. I was just asking this to the online viewers beforehand. Let's suppose I'm out. Let's say I'm at a coffee shop, or I'm at a comic book store, or I'm at a club, and I'm meeting Dad's ladies, right? I'm meeting Dad's ladies, right? I'm kind of doing one of these. I'm pulling my glasses down, or perhaps if I have contacts in, I'll just stick my finger in my eye and pull the contact down and be like, baby, you know, looking at her in total blurry confusion. She doesn't even know I can't make her out, but she knows I'm into her, right? And she comes up to me. She's feeling it, right? She's feeling it. We're having a little conversation. And here's a question that I get asked, right? Here's a question, and I don't know the proper way to respond, so I just want to poll you on this. She says, so what do you do? So, I mean, am I supposed to be like, there's this internet television show that I do about gaming, on StarCraft 2. I'm actually live you can look at me in like 2 hours and I'll be live right there. That's what I do. Turn on the internet and you'll find me. Because that feels weird. I don't want to present to her Day 9. I want to present to her Champlain. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, oh, I do web TV. I'm in that industry. She's like, what do you do specifically? I'm like, a lot of talking. I do a lot of talking is what I do. And she's like, oh, you're really intriguing. Can I have your Facebook? And I'm like, no, you can't. No. We can exchange something more impersonal. I don't know, like perhaps your mailing address and I'll write you letters so we can leave Day 9 out of it. It's hard! And that would be really weird to be like, yes, I'm Day 9. That's who I am, baby. I put on like my Brock Sampson voice. Yes, I'm Day 9. That feels weird to me. That feels off. So I don't know. And I leave it up to you. You can send that to feedback@day9.tv. The person who helps me with that mailbox is going to think I am an asshole. Anyways, let's talk about today's Newbie Tuesday. One of my favorite things ever. Newbie Tuesday, because we're going to look at a topic, attack timings. A topic that we have not really looked at too much because I talk a lot about just general strategies. Ooh, I think he should attack here and there. And very often people will say to me the following: it makes sense in that specific vacuum why I should attack, but I don't know how to come up with that in general. Seems kind of hard. So we're going to go into that right after we make the announcement for what next week's Fun Day Monday is. It's the most popular Fun Day Monday topic of all time, Mono Battles! If you could submit to me you playing a 3v3 or 4v4, where you and everyone on your team publicly announce the one unit that you will make all game long, that would be great. Submit that to Monday at day9.tv. 3v3 or 4v4 Mono Battles. I fully expect you to be going out there and mono battling the shit out of life. Oh, that hurt my ears. Oh my god, that actually hurts. I felt that clap in my sinus. Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't know if that happened to you as well. Oh my god, I probably just freaked out some poor soul who's trying to code at work. Oh my god, let's talk about the topic for today. It's the attack timing topic. Oh my god. So this is the prompt that I gave. A really weird thing happened to me when I was going through the Newbie Tuesday emails, because this was the prompt that I gave. Submit to me a replay pack, like 10 to 15 games, of you doing the same timing attack in every single game. And I want this timing attack to be between 10 and 12 minutes. And that was it. That was the prompt that I gave. I wanted people to force themselves to make an attack between 10 and 12 minutes. So again, there's a little bit of flexibility based on the races. And the idea was there would be this adjustment period before the attack. How do I optimize my units? How do I do my builds? And then there would be this big chunk afterwards, the big chunk after, of the how do I adjust after I begin doing this attack. And one thing that blew my mind, that freaking shocked me to pieces, is that for some reason, people submitted to me like 10 games of them playing against all the different races. I wanted like 10 PVZs in a row, or 10 Terran versus Terrans in a row. Amazingly, a lot of people just did the same build against all 3 races. And I want to just make it clear that whenever you are playing, you should have the 3 matchups as like 3 completely different trains of thought. You can do like a timing attack always in Protoss versus Zerg, really ultra passive in Protoss versus Protoss, really ultra passive in Protoss versus Terran in a totally different way, right? Just make sure that you partition those. I don't want you to just be like attacking Terran and Protosses with the same build willy-nilly. So I ended up choosing the player Redbone, which is a great name, which is just amazing. What do you do for a living? I'm Redbone. That's who I am. I would get away with a lot more. So Redbone is our Protoss player here, and he's going to be playing a number of games against Zerg opponents. And we want to talk quite a bit about the adjustment that he does throughout, right? The adjustment that he does. And I actually asked if you would be so kind as to like write stuff up. And look at what he did. This is so fantastic. He wrote what his general plan was. He writes a little bit about the games, and we're going to go into that in a moment. And I wanted to note that sure, the process of writing down is great. You don't have to do it. You can just give yourself mental notes. But of course, we requested it from him because it makes it easier for us to talk about it here now. So with all that in mind, let me talk about attack timings as just a general theory. When the hell do I attack, right? I don't know when to attack. I have no idea. How do I go about doing that? It comes down to one of my favorite fundamental laws of trying to learn anything, which is just pick anything and just fucking do it. You know, just fucking do it. Emphasis on the F word in that, right? Because if it's like, just do it, right? It's like this sort of, yeah, feel empowered to do it. But I want you to have this feeling of, yeah, why not do it? Just screw it, I'm just going to do it, right? I'm going to do an attack between 10 and 12 minutes because that is the law that I am going to obey in these games, and I have no idea if it is necessarily right or wrong. It's just what I am obeying. Almost like you're doing a Fun Day Monday. I want you to say, I'm always attacking at 10 minutes, and I want a game to occur where you lose everything and you have 1 immortal, and you think, well, it's 10 minutes, time to attack with my 1 immortal, whoa! And the amazing thing is, if you just specifically declare what you're gonna just go for, amazing, miraculous things can happen. So I gave you 10 to 12 minutes as a timing attack, and amazingly, a whole bunch of people had a huge amount of success just attacking. They didn't know when to attack, they didn't know why they were attacking. It's so easy to convince yourself to wait, but I'm forcing you to do it. So I want you to begin by forcing yourself to do this attack. So first thing that I loved is I said make an attack between 10 and 12 minutes. Let's take a look at what Redbone had to do. He began with a general plan for an awesome SC2 exercise, 10 to 12 minute timing push. So he says that I'm going to go 3 gate robo open. And in the email he sent, he actually said, I planned on doing an immortal push largely because the immortals were buffed in the recent patch, so why the hell not? So I'm going to just basically go 3 gate robo, continuously make immortals. Ah, there it is, the word immortals. And then he's going to expand. And after he expands, he's going to get like some Twilight Council. He has some other options he's going to do. He's going to add on some more gateways. He's going to push. He's going to expand to a 3rd during the attack. Let's state it more simply. 3-gate robo with lots of immortals. Expand and get some more shit. Expand while we attack. Great, we have an overall plan. Sweet. Let's take a look at how it went. Let's pop over into the game and see how it went. We have Redbone over here. This is our introductory game, where we get a sense of Redbone's first attempt to do this, and the sort of things that end up happening. Now, I want to pretend that we are naive, that we have just begun to think about doing this timing push. And what we want to do is we want to be kind of sensitive to what is going wrong. Again, in terms of this before and after. So as we speed things up, yeah, the gateway. And I'm sure a lot of you are saying, wait a minute, Neoris, our Zergy buddy, would probably makes a little bit more sense to build the gateway here and here, right? To build the gateway here and the cybernetics core, so that way a zealot can block off any sort of early aggression, any sort of early attacks. We're also noticing things like we could chrono boost probes a little bit better. I'm seeing that chrono boost is quite high. Look at that. It's at 56 energy and we're 2 minutes and 27 seconds into the game. Yeah, these are sorts of things that you can be sensitive to, but we're going to see Redbone not exactly focus on that yet, but it's still okay to point out all that stuff that's not going so great. What we're actually going to see Redbone do is realize, man, I said I needed to build X many gateways. I just didn't have the money to do that. I should build fewer gateways. And it's like, yeah, go Redbone. That's a great adjustment. That sounds absolutely fine. So he's going to poke in here, and of course Neoris is doing the ever-so-threatening one-base fast evolution chamber for a wicked quick spore crawler, or +1, whatever. I'm actually ignoring it. I'm actually largely going to ignore that. I don't really care that much. Right now, what your gut will tell you, and I'm going to tell you that this is totally wrong, your gut will say, oh, my opponent, it was terrible. It sucked. My opponent, it sucked. Like that's some sort of mutant with like eyeballs and ooze and stuff and just sort of sludging onto his mouse and keyboard. You're like, ugh, it does not know how to play and it's sticky. Don't discount the learning that you can gain from the game, because we're still trying to figure out our build before and after this whole timing attack begins. So let's look for some of the biggest bumps that we can. So we're going to build ourselves a second gateway. We're going to be doing a little bit of chrono boosting. We have a stalker here. We have ourselves a fast assimilator. This all looks quite reasonable. A third gateway comes down. And we can pick up on things like, you know what? These two gateways, I can't actually make out of them. As a matter of fact, I'm broke. I just started my robotics facility. Now, again, this is the attack timing daily. Hell, this is the right time for this rant. This is the attack timing daily, and many, many people are probably wondering, why are we talking about all these buildings? I mean, we want to figure out attack timings and when to attack and how to attack and all that stuff. But the interaction around the attack is so unbelievably huge. And what I want to emphasize to you is that if you look at the snip of when the attack happens, you're too zoomed in. You have to pull back and think about before and after. In fact, if any of you ever see me at like an MLG or something like that, and you come up and you say, hey Sean, what about blah? You know, like what if I got really fast blue flame hellions on this map and dropped them? You'll almost always see me do this. I'll go, it seems okay. And the reason I'm taking so long is it's not because I'm having a hard time picturing blue flame hellions kill off workers. It seems pretty good. Even in patch 1.4, it seems pretty good. What I'm doing is I'm trying to think, and how would you get there safely, and what would you do afterwards that would be useful? These sorts of things that I'm going through. As we come back to Redbone, we're going to see him go for these. He's going to go 3 warp gates, and there it is. He's going to begin chrono boosting out his immortal. And what we will actually see from Zerg in just a moment is a whole bunch of Zerglings try to swing on up and do a bunch of damage and kill us off. Now here's one thing that is really, really useful. I'm sure this has happened to you, where an attack happens and it fails, and you go, time to go attack right now! Yeah! Or, and then you do it and it loses, right? Another thing that can happen is you go, oh my god, he messed up and he attacked. Maybe it means all this other stuff. You know, maybe I should be waiting longer to attack. Maybe I should expand faster. Maybe I should attack earlier and all this stuff. If you just say, I'm doing the exact same timing push at 11 minutes every time, your decision has been made for you. If your 11-minute timing push has been working anyways, hell, it'll definitely work after he's thrown away a whole bunch of units for free. So we're now seeing Redbone continually make his immortals exactly as he said he wanted to. And now he's going to be making some pylons down here. He needs pylons anyways, and he wants to expand. And here he is. At the 9-minute mark, I just want to plant this little number in your mind. At the 9-minute mark, we have 2 immortals, very few zealots, and a decent number of stalkers. I don't necessarily want to call it 2, 5, and 2, but I will say 2 immortals, some more stalkers than we have zealots, and not too many of either. So, alright, cool. Our timing push moment is coming up. All right, we have an observer to go check things out. Meanwhile, it looks like our player has indeed gotten that very fast +1 attack upgrade and is beginning to produce nothing but roaches, as we can see up there. Now, Redbone, if we actually, let me actually come over here to his, yep, there it is, to his little test sheet. He said he wanted to get a Twilight Council and 4 more gateways. Let's see how this ends up working out. Alright, we're ending up transferring some probes, and we're just gonna go for it, right? We're gonna go for it. Why? Because we just hit 11 minutes. Is this good or bad? I don't know. We're just doing it. Should I have more sentries in this? I want you to train your brain to not say, well, I don't have any sentries, let me wait for any sentries. I want you to say, this doesn't have any sentries. Next time, I'll get 2 sentries earlier. Again, I'm forcing you to attack between 10 and 12 minutes. And then this sort of amazing thing happens where Redbone doesn't actually have anything special in this army. It's not like he has a Colossus with range. It's not like he has, you know, the High Templar, or he has just enough energy for X-Force fields. He just has a bunch of stuff that does very basic damage. And despite his opponent having a good number of roaches, he absolutely obliterates this Zerg. I mean, crushes the Zerg player. Great! Now this is a very fun moment because, as I saw in almost every single replay package that was submitted, every single replay package, people were going, it's weird, I've started to attack at 10 minutes every game, and I win like 90%. I win 90% of the time. And it's like, yes, just attacking more is good. And once you hit something like this, this is something that seems this is something to cling on to. Even all the way up until you're like Diamond or Master, you can just be doing this exact same timing push every time. And when we look at this, a simple problem. I could not afford all the buildings. I wanted to keep production from them. I want to try to expand earlier and add 2 gateways instead of 4, because he was actually trying to... he looked at his money actually just a few seconds earlier. Right here. He looked at his money and was like, well, gee, I have enough to build out of these gateways. I'm still building Immortals, and I wanted to add 4. I'm crazy, right? Notice that that's a pretty big adjustment. That's a pretty big adjustment to be like, oh, I was going to build 4, now I'm going to build 2. That's exactly the way it should be, right? That's exactly correct. So, for me, the big things that I would note, though, are if we come back to the start of the build, I want you to try to look at as many points in time where things are starting to go a little bit wrong. We know that this attack works great. We know that this immortal timing attack seems to have at least some validity to it. There's some truth behind making that timing push there. But, you know, pushing our gateway a little closer, that's the biggest thing. Chrono boosting more is another big thing. I don't want to go any slower than ×4 because I'm trying to get the big things out of the way. These gateways, am I getting them? Am I actually using these gateways? Certainly does not look like it, huh? And I'm getting this robo really late. And remember, I got my expand at 9 minutes. Huh, well, I think I maybe want to be chrono boosting out more probes. I think I don't need this second, or these other gateways as quickly. Hell, maybe I could just get away with 2 gates instead of 3. These are the sorts of broad things I want you to try to consider. And the biggest idea, other than, yeah, let me just do simple general improvement, is how do I make my attack better? Because this is, I'm telling you, you're going to attack at 11. You're gonna. Straight up, flat out, you're going to attack at 11. Here's a question. Could I have had more Immortals for my attack? Notice a comment like, oh, I have high chrono boost. That's me saying to myself, I noticed something wrong. Maybe I can fix that wrong thing. Right? Again, I'm just wandering around and a mistake floats in front of me and I go, look at that. Those can be very hard to find. The chrono boosting one is obvious, but those can be very hard to find. Try to have your questions be directly related to the attack. Like, directly. Could I have had more Immortals? Could I have had more Immortals? That question didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of the fact that I want a stronger attack. Well, is this Robo idle for a while? Wow, it actually is idle for quite a while. Here comes out another Immortal. Maybe I could chrono boost it more. There comes out an Observer. There comes out another Immortal. It's pretty active, but there are still some blips where I'm realizing, man, wow, yeah, look at this. I had 3 immortals, and maybe I could have gotten away with having 4. Man, I don't have any sentries. Maybe I could get 2 more sentries. Would that help? Maybe I have too many stalkers. Maybe I can get 2 more zealots instead. Maybe I could get a forge. I want the questions that you ask to be related to the attack, and you'll start to have some clear good things pop out of that. We're going to go ahead and take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to see the big adjustment that Redbone made from the next game. We're going to watch two games. One's a little shorter, one's a lot longer of a game. So we can think a little bit about that after period. We didn't really get to do much after for this one, but that's fine because we want to take a little bit of time. See you in just a second for part number 2.